Welcome to the first action recognition workshop. It's on action recognition with a large number of classes. And the title is THUMOS 2013. So the first question that everyone asks us is, what is this THUMOS thing? And so THUMOS is actually a Greek word. It expresses the notion of this kind of competitive or radical spirit as in a spirited contest. However, the word is also used to express this human desire for recognition. Now, I'm sure that when the Greeks came up with the word, they did have action recognition in mind. They just have to wait a very long time for to come up with it. But the idea is that we wanted this to be a workshop as well as a contest where people could try out their techniques on large-scale human action recognition, especially now that the new data sets that we have are many more classes than something like APs. So for those people in the audience who might not be familiar with large-scale action, we'll give a quick overview before we hand over to our better speaker. Before that, however, I do want to thank the organizers, in particular the people who did a lot of the hard work, you guys and Jingan here. But Amir, for visa reasons, unfortunately couldn't be here, and he actually sacrificed the most. He actually delayed his PhD thesis dissertation so that he could, focus on getting all this done. So that's actually a high level of dedication to the workshop. And of course, I would like to thank my co-chairs, Mubarak and Ivan and Simo here. So for all the hard work putting this together. So action recognition. In the old days, action recognition with large numbers of classes meant something like 6. There were interesting actions that were done primarily by researchers in staged environments. And that's because there weren't that many data sets available, and there weren't actually that many videos available on the internet. If you look at the old websites, it says things like, we can't make the data set available, it's too big, email the organizers, and we'll send you a hard disk, things like that. And over the years, it went from 6 to 10 actions in Flutter, where people were trying to do localization as well as whole clip recognition. And then I think a shift happened, because then once people digitized movies, videos, people started seeing the possibilities of doing action recognition in existing videos, starting with small numbers of actions like the drinking and smoking, moving on to Hollywood action, which still gets used with everyday actions, and then with sports. So this is the start of the UCF series of data sets, which in this case was collected by Sadali and Mikhail, along with their interns. And these were sports actions collected from professional footage. However, going from this professional footage to user-generated content, I think was a big shift, because instead of having well-framed, cinematographically interesting shots, we just had random videos of dogs and cats and people doing silly things on YouTube. And UCF 11 was the first one to really popularize that, and based on that success, UCF went on to generate the UCF 50 dataset, which is being very popular these days in the action recognition community. Collecting this kind of data is very non-trivial, particularly when the training set has to be temporally segmented. So a lot of downloading from YouTube and temporal segmentation, making it available. And of course, in the last year or so, last couple of years, there's been even more. And so HMDB and UCF 101 are the current data sets that people will be using. And this workshop is focused particularly on UCF 101, which was just released late last year, through the hard work of Amir and Kuram. So UCF 101 consists of 101 classes of actions. It's a superset of UCF 50, which itself is a superset of UCF 11. And through the day, people will have talks that explain the various aspects of the contest. Right now, I just wanted to give people a quick overview. Aside, the baseline results for UCF 101 at the start of the contest was around 45%. But you can see that during the contest, people have really kicked in and achieved very, very high accuracies. What's interesting is that the top few contestants are very, very close together. I mean, just separated by 0.2% or something. And we're fortunate to get a lot of the people, I think the top 5 teams, talking about their approaches today, and we'll be able to see some things that are very, very common among these approaches, as well as some very different ideas. Quick overview of the workshop schedule. In the morning, we have invited talks from Cordelia and Jason, and then we'll break into the 2 parts of the challenge: classification side and the detection. And then the final session will really be looking out towards the future, and in particular, we're very excited to see where the field should go next. I mean, the obvious idea would just be to increase the number of classes, but I don't think that's necessarily what the community needs. So please stick around and help us plan out where we'd like the field to go in the future.